Hey guys, Doc here to tell you about something that could really give you the edge in gaming. I'm talking about our show sponsor, Fade Grips. Thumbstick grips as well as controller grips that give comfort, precision, and control so you can take your gaming to the next level. Just go to fadegrips.store and check out all they have to offer. And with our promo code, CAG20, at checkout, you can get 20% off your entire order. That's fadegrips.store with offer code CAG20.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 34 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I am your host, Chocolate Bear, and joining me this week are my co-hosts, Doc H1X1.
Hey, what's up?
Ledonian.
What's going on, guys?
And 10,000 Fists.
Hey everyone.
As you can tell, I'm not Risky the Kid. He is out with some family duties, but we'll still give you the best show we can. Today we are going to... Oh my god. Cut that shit out.
I don't know if I want to do that.
This is going swimmingly.
This is
Wait,
going
Risky is a family now?
He's got family stuff.
He
going
doesn't
on.
like the word family, man, but he's
I'm proud of him.
obligations is what
Stepping up in 2019.
Let me just beat that chest. Right. So we are going to announce our newest Patreon member, Blade. Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you for your support. We
Thank
go,
you,
truly,
Blade. Seriously, thank you.
truly appreciate it. And thanks to your donation, we are now dangerously close to running another podcast
Oh,
where
I'm so
myself
excited.
and Risky have to watch anime because of Doc.
I'm
Wait,
so excited.
It's guaranteed to be anime? I
Yes,
thought it was just movies.
I pushed for hard to be anime
Yeah.
because not only do I think it would be a good unique thing, but like I just want to hear Chocolate and Risky watch some of this bizarre anime and be like, and I just want to get their reactions on some of this stuff.
Interesting.
I can feel your eyes rolling, Ledonian.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe just do it for one or two episodes, but then do some regular stuff because I feel like you're going to isolate the community if they don't know what animes you're talking about.
I have no idea myself.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna probably do a pilot one, but part of it is that reason too, because like I'm kind of I don't watch animes. I know Risky and Chocolate definitely don't.
Oh, wait. So okay, then it would be really funny if none of you watch it.
that's the whole reason I'm doing it, because I'll put to you this way: the only anime I've ever watched is part of Attack on Titan and then the Netflix Castlevania, and that's it for me as far as that goes. So
Was that only
both of
because
which were
they
on
were
Netflix.
like dubbed in
Yeah.
English, so it's like
Yeah,
easier to follow?
yeah, exactly. So like that's my brief stint into anime. So part of me is just like, the reason I want to do it is because none of us have any history in it, so that we're gonna get more of the what the hell is going on here.
Oh my
Kinda
god,
see.
I can just imagine both Mellified and Chindocto just like being so upset with you guys after your podcast. It's gonna be
So
great.
he's a super scion, and it is. It's like, oh wait,
Come on, people, get some more Patreon in there. I want to hear this.
Yeah, trust me, you don't. But if you do want to listen to an absolute hellhole of a anime podcast, we're only $6 away. So do me a favour, do not pledge that $6, please.
Do it.
I'm signing
just
up.
to kind of
now.
give a brief overview of it too. So basically, the first one will be a pilot one, and what we're planning on doing is it's anime one and done. So it's going to be only when we do a show that'll span 4 episodes over 4 months. We'll just basically evenly split the season into 4 episodes. It'll only be the first season of each anime. So we're not going to like do a deep dive into like way into an anime series. We're just going to do the first season and done, and it's basically going to be like, this is our exposure to it. You know, we might even do a where we think the show's going on the last episode. But it's anime one and done. We're just getting the first season. We're being like, WTF is this, and just going from there. So also after the pilot episode, if it goes well, patrons in the VIP channel will be voting on all the new shows we watch. So it'll be a list of like 4 or 5, and it'll be up to a vote. So
Oh, God.
yeah.
I can just anticipate Risky getting really, really, really into whatever anime you guys are like watching. Like just like going ahead and watching the entire series, just binge watching.
It's possible. I mean, hey, if I like it well enough, I might do the same too. So, it's going to be an adventure for all of us because this is three guys that, never got into anime. So we'll see what happens.
I do not like this. Anyway, moving swiftly on. It is the beginning of the month. We have a game to give away. Are you excited?
What?
Say
Yeah.
what? So, our winner is, drumroll please, Tropador XP.
Nice.
Nice.
Congrats, Tro.
Well done, congratulations. Please get in contact with Risky. I'm still yet to try and get if you don't contact us in the first week, we'll start chipping away at that money. So by the end of it, you might only be able to get an indie title. That would be hilarious. No? Okay. I thought it was good.
Chocolate's like, I want some free games, damn it.
So, we have got one more announcement to make. Our podcast wars with Real Gamer Score is on Saturday the 12th at 5 Eastern. PM, that is, guys. PM. Keep updated on our Twitter, and we shall let you know if the time slightly shifts. We're looking to give them another whitewash. This time it's in...
We getting the brooms out, or are we going for the sweep? Is that
We're
what's
going for the
happening
clean
here?
sweep.
Oh, man.
The clean sweep.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, listen out on our Discord. Come into Discord. We'll announce it there. But listen to our Twitter account. And finally, Kabowski wrote in about New Year's resolutions. So before we start the podcast, I was just wondering, guys, your New Year's resolutions. Do you stick to them? What have you done for this year? Are you going to stick with it? And we'll go with Fists first because I know his view on New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't bother with New Year's resolutions. I'm the kind of person that if I want to do something, I'm not going to wait for a specific time of year to really do it. If I want to change something positive in my life or whatever, then I think the best time to do it is just when you're at your most motivated, and that's not necessarily going to be like right at the beginning of the year. So, like years ago, I used to smoke, for example, which I know is like a filthy, filthy habit. And it was about end of November, and I thought to myself, I'm just absolutely sick of it. I'm gonna quit. And a few people at the time said, well, New Year's is coming around, why don't you just wait until then? And I just thought, well, I could, but this is the most motivated I've ever been towards quitting smoking, so why not just do it now rather than waiting another month and a half or whatever. So that's why I kind of feel like New Year's resolution, although I understand why some people feel that it's a good time it's a new year, new start and whatever, and I just think I won't bother with New Year's resolutions because I feel like when I'm at my most motivated, no matter what time of year it is, that's the best time to do whatever it is that you're looking to do or change. I guess when it comes
getting in that mindset, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you need to, like, sometimes, like, you can't. Sometimes it's not even about like you motivating yourself to do something. Sometimes it can be an outside source of something happening around you or to someone that you know or whatever that can give you that little nudge that you need to actually do something, and you can't plan for when that stuff is going to happen. So that's why I've always just felt like actually doing that sort of stuff as a New Year's resolution isn't necessarily the best way to do stuff. It's just when you personally feel at your best to do something is when you should do something.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's nothing magical about New Year's. Yeah, so I mean, like, why wait if you are aptly motivated, like you said? But yeah, That's that. Hey, did you actually stop smoking though?
Oh yeah, like that's been.
Hey, congrats, man. That's
about-
hard to do. That's hard to do. I see people come into my work all the time for help with that, and that is not I have personally witnessed that is a hard thing to do. So
yeah,
good job,
it
man.
was. I smoked for about 10 years, and that's been roughly around about 5 years that I've not smoked for now, and that was me going just cold turkey, just outright, just stopped
Damn,
it. Didn't
good
use,
job, dude.
Didn't use
That's
patches.
impressive.
Didn't use like tablets or anything like that. I just thought, right, this is just the right time to do it. And then, funnily enough, like about a month later, my stepdad picked me up to go and take me to the family house for Christmas, and he decided to light up a cigar right next to me while while I was still in the process of quitting smoking. I'm like, no, put that out. I'm still
That
like,
is not helping.
Yeah. That's
What about yourself, Ladonian? Have you got? Are you a New Year's resolution person?
I am and I'm not. I kind of do what 10,000 Fists does. I kind of just like set a goal whenever I feel like it. For example, in November after Thanksgiving, I was like, all right, I'm going to sign up for a marathon, and I was going to do a marathon in February, and I had trained the whole month of December already, and so it was kind of like my goal for 2019 was I'm going to do 2 marathons in 2019.
Wow.
And then, like, right before New Year's, I went for a 16-mile run and only made it 9.5 miles because my calf just started locking up, and I think I strained it or something. So that has put those aspirations on hold for a bit until that heals. I'm still going to try and do 2. But, yeah, I mean, overall, I just try to be healthier every year. Last year didn't really work that much because my wife was in her first trimester of pregnancy, and I gained some sympathy weight. So I'm going to blame that. But, we're really trying to eat healthy now, and especially with a baby on the way. Want to be in shape before that happens, because otherwise it's never going to happen.
No, tell me about it. I'm still trying to get healthy and in shape. Not happening.
Yep. And then, did you want us to do a gaming goal too?
You can do it if you've got a gaming goal.
Yeah. I mean, I would just say I want to. I would say get better at multiplayer games, whatever that may be. Like if it's Anthem coming up, or Division, or Fortnite, or Blackout, just like get better, get more wins. I don't know, something along those lines. Although I'm not a very serious person, so it's gonna be difficult for me to take that goal seriously.
Got to put in that risky time on Blackout.
Yeah. Maybe
Sure does.
maybe just have fun. Continue to have fun. That'll be my goal.
Fun and winning. That's the
Yes.
key.
I didn't actually say a gaming goal. For me, I would say all I would really be interested in doing is just playing a different variety of games. Like during the last episode, I said about how I spent too much time playing the same games all year and didn't really get round to playing the likes of Red Dead or anything last year. So that's what I want to do, is just focus on actually giving new releases a chance. I'll definitely be getting Anthem, like Ladonian just said there. I'll be getting that as soon as that comes out. So
me too.
give new games a chance when they first come out, rather than much later afterwards.
Doc, what about yourself?
Yeah, I never ever really set New Year's resolutions, but I did this year, and it actually was just a gaming one. My problem with gaming, it's probably always been this way, is I rarely ever finish games to completions or to credits roll. So this year I set a resolution to do beat 25 games, which is about, I guess, roughly one every 2 weeks. And that could be anything, literally anything. Stuff I've almost completed to games booting up for the first time. So I'm actually going to give that a legit shot. I was thinking about putting that in the Discord, but then I didn't want to make it like homework for people. So I'm like, obviously, if anybody wants to join me on that, they can. But But yeah, I'm gonna try to do because at first I was like, I'll do 50 games. That's one a week. I was like, hell no, I don't got time is now. And then it would eventually devolve into like, well, I got this clicker for $2 on Xbox Live, and I got credits to roll, so it counts.
But 25 through the year actually seems an achievable target.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, rules are kind of loose. It can be stuff that I've gotten really far in already, or whatever. So, and it's the only rule is like it's not completion, it's not achievements or anything. It's just credits roll. So, which I guess is probably a little bit tricky for some games because I know like AC Odyssey has like 3 different endings, I guess. But just one ending is all that I'm going for.
You could count that as like 3 different games.
Yeah. I guess if I really wanted to bend the rules, I'm like, 3 games in one week, suckers. I'm doing great. Like,
I didn't save Scum at all. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's kind of my thing this year though. Is and then also I would actually say too, not a resolution, but yeah, just try to be healthier too because. I would work out, eat really good, like work out like every day up until I mean even after I was married. But then once I got married, like my wife really likes to cook for me all the time, and then that was super easy to gain weight at that point. So I really need to get back into my routine that I basically used to have. So, but that's picking up slowly. I didn't really make a New Year's resolution out of that, but because I'm kind of already started that, but yeah, the gaming one is the one I'm going to focus on for the video game stuff, though.
Okay. Myself is like a little bit of a combination of all of you. So I am trying to not play FIFA as much for my gaming resolution. So hopefully I'm just easing off FIFA and trying to give new games a try or finish them.
Is that because you're sick of getting your butt whooped by 10,000 and Sweeney?
From Sweeney, yes. I don't think 10,000 has managed to beat me in this incarnation of FIFA.
Well, no, because we haven't played each other yet.
So
Chocolate's really big on the keywording.
Still counts.
If I haven't lost, I'm a winner. It's more just to try and give myself a variety of doing the podcast and in Discord. It gets a bit boring after a while saying I played FIFA. And I played more FIFA, so I'm on Hellblade at the moment, trying to go through that. And
How have you liked that so far? With and you're playing with headphones on?
Yeah,
right?
So I'm playing with my headphones. It is really good, except I have 2 young children.
Yeah.
Who sometimes don't sleep, and
I wondered how that was going to be with you. Yeah.
Occasionally, I hear this crying noise, so I take the headphones off, and my house is dead silent. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. Headphones back on. And then you hear the crying again. You're like, is it the game? Is it not? Do I power through? Do I check on my kids? Yeah, so that part's annoying.
It's going to teach you to inadvertently be a bad dad. Your wife's just going to walk in the room and be like, do you not hear the kid crying? Yeah. It's like, I thought that was the game.
I thought that was the game. You're not playing anything. You're playing FIFA. Oh,
you're cooking right now.
Wait a minute. That's me crying.
Yeah. That's me.
Oh my god,
that's terrible. So yeah, that's my kind of my gaming resolution. As regards to kind of New Year's, I personally don't bother because I break after 2 days.
You stuck to your gaming goal for last year, which was not to buy any FIFA stuff. So
that is true.
I'm proud of you.
That's true, and it helped me in the wallet, making me buy more games. So
and a Switch.
Well, that was my wife. She loves me, but anyway. That is good. I
was about to say, Chocolate, at some point we really need to revisit your initial buying pattern on the Switch. At one point I was talking to Moose the other night, and we concluded that you had bought in order 1-2 Switch, Zelda, Hollow Knight, and Football Manager. 50% of that... In Dead Cells, okay. Roughly 50% of that list we were questioning a little bit, but we'll talk about that later, I guess.
Yeah, and funny enough, while I was waiting for you guys, I was playing Dead Cells on the Switch. That game is so good.
It is. Some might say one of the best games of last year.
Some might say. It may have been in a couple of top 5 Game of the Years. Yeah. Anyway, let's find out what we're playing. We're going to go with Ladonian. Tell me about your Sea of Thieves jaunty across the shores.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. So it was me and 10,000 and Doc We play, and then we had one of Doc's friends who may or may not join the community. We don't know.
Yeah. Shout out to Puma.
Yeah, Puma. Yeah. He's like one of those annoying salesmen that like keeps on calling and just feels no shame in trying to promote his like product, and that's Doc trying to get people on Discord. And, like,
to be fair, I normally don't, but then when I had Ladonian and 10,000, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm taking advantage of this.
Man, it
I've
was
got back
brutal.
up.
So yeah, literally we'd be going. I'm like, yeah, Ladonian. Like, I've always tried to figure out a way to communicate better with my friends. Like, I've got Skype, but I don't feel like that's really working. I just wish there was an answer, you know?
Oh,
Like,
God.
Oh gosh.
and then
yeah,
Ladonian's like, go to hell.
Don't make a career change anytime soon, Doc. That's all I'm saying.
I was like,
Yeah,
man,
fair,
even
fair.
even Casper wasn't that transparent, man. Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, Sea of Thieves is fun. What did we do? We did a
Skull Fort. Yeah.
Yeah,
castle
Skull
or fort.
Fort.
Yeah, Skull Fort. And we got a lot of loot. It took probably 2.5 hours because we had this annoying little brigate that was just trying to steal our stuff, even though we had nothing on our boat. And they probably attacked us 5 different times, and there was
We just sunk them right away too every time.
But there was the mermaid that just kept on lingering around, and it was like, all right, someone's still on the island, someone's still alive nearby, and so you're just always like, where are they? And just questioning, should we go? Should we stay?
yeah,
so.
we weren't ever on edge because of that, because we're just like, where is this guy hiding?
Which I don't know that I necessarily would say that the Skull Fort is the most fun thing to do. Maybe if you had a couple of boats doing it, it would go way quicker.
Yeah, in retrospect, the bad thing about Sea of Thieves sometimes is you definitely have players that get into PvP and they don't know when to accept that they've lost. That they just can't. I don't know. They can't accept it, or they just can't take no for an answer. When it comes to we sunk that sloop 5 times in a row, and it's just like, guys, you aren't even getting close to hurting us. We just wiped them out each time. The first time, I just literally shot out to their boat, boarded, killed both of them, and steered their boat into an island while they peppered it with cannons. And it's just they never got close to sinking us or doing any damage for that matter. And it's just they just kept coming. It's they just didn't know when to accept that they had lost.
Was that the clip you stuck on the Xbox Live group where you jumped on?
That was a different one. Now that was me. Actually, I've got another video going up for the Instagram later. That was me ruining somebody's Christmas on that one because Sea of Thieves did a thing called Gilded Quest, and you could only get one, but when you ran it, it gave you a ton of loot of all the best kinds of loot. And well, I'll let Ladonian finish, but that was me just straight up ruining somebody's Christmas on that one, and with a Omega keg from a fort.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was really fun, but I would say other activities in that game are possibly more fun, less rewarding, like taking on a Meg or the Kraken,
skeleton ships,
or just
yeah.
going around and attacking other ships, stationary on an island for a long time, getting trying to defeat it by yourself was definitely rewarding, but I'd say there's better uses of your time in the game. But that's just me. But along the lines of people who just constantly attack people, I was watching on Twitch the other day. There's someone who plays Fortnite a lot. His name is FaZe Poach. He's one of the best Fortnite players in the world, but he was playing Sea of Thieves. Oh my god. It was unfair. He could snipe people from across the sea. He would see someone and be like, all right, you want me to snipe them? Okay, boom, they're dead.
No way.
It was
Dang.
nuts. It was so cool.
Because sniping isn't exactly easy in that game too, because there's drop, and if you're moving, they put physics into it.
I think it's pretty close to Fortnite though.
Is it?
That's why he's pretty good at it.
God, that's
So it
unbelievable.
kind of translates pretty well.
Yeah. But anyway, other than Sea of Thieves, I played some Blackout, Fortnite, I'm definitely getting more into Fortnite lately. One, because the battle pass is fun. Two, I get more wins in that than I do in Blackout. I haven't gotten a Blackout win in months now. Risky and Dan Pod have yet to carry me to victory in a while. So,
But you got a victory in Fortnite, didn't you? A solo?
yeah,
I watched that actually.
Solo victory in Fortnite. Yeah. So the reason I like Fortnite better now is because I don't know if you guys played a lot of Halo 2 or Halo 3, but
I did.
the reason I like that game better than like Call of Duties back when I was in college was because the more skilled player always won the fight, right? If someone started shooting you in Halo and you were good, you could turn around, get a headshot, or like defeat that player no matter what because you had a little bit of shield to play with. In Fortnite, you can build, you can like kind of protect yourself. The better player usually always wins. Whereas in Blackout, it's the person who shoots first usually is going to win. And it's just
who
like
gets the drop on who kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating because if you're like walking through a building and someone's just camping in a corner, bam, you're dead. So I've been more into Fortnite lately. What else? I beat Firewatch, which was a way more in-depth story than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I did not think I was going to like feel my emotions like that, which was pretty cool, I guess. I started playing Oxenfree, and that was upon Risky's recommendation. I was streaming, and I was like, what game should I play next? And then he was like, Oxenfree, and
No, I think I was in the stream that time, yeah.
yeah, I did not know I was getting involved in a teenage drama, which that was kind of interesting, and it was really creepy because at some point in the game, like it just grabs a random person who's played the game out of your Xbox Live friends, and it shows their gamer tag, and they're supposed to like creep you out. And Risky's gamer tag was chosen, and he was in the stream watching me. It was really weird.
That's actually pretty crazy.
I was like, oh my god, Risky, what are you doing?
I've hacked your console.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, that moment. And then I got Mark of the Ninja for the Switch, and that game is super fun. It's like a stealth ninja game. You got to get through the levels without being noticed. You can go through them without killing anyone. So that's right up my alley. Definitely recommend that.
Nice.
Should have a look at that. Thousands, what have you been playing?
So, I've been doing, like, obviously my usual bit of FIFA every now and then, and a bit of Contest of Champions on my phone every now and then. But I've made a point, just yesterday actually, of finally getting started on Forza Horizon 4. Spent a good hour streaming that, my first ever stream, actually. I was just trying to get used to using Mixer, is it?
Yeah. It's strange, isn't it? Streaming, playing, and trying to concentrate on the chat as well as what you're doing.
I'm really good at it. So.
Yeah,
to be fair, yeah.
I decided not to have the mic switched on.
He is
this time.
awful at it.
I decided not to have my mic switched on for it. I just wanted to get used to sort of actually just playing a game while streaming at the same time and trying to concentrate on the chat. And I even ended up not actually concentrating on the chat all that much until after I'd actually stopped playing for a little bit and happened to notice, like Moose had said in the chat, like, oh, the way you've spelled your name, it's really hard to find you.
Can concur.
Yeah, it's when I created my gamer tag, like the way that the regular spelling was already taken, I had to be a bit different. So my gamer tag, although my gamer tag's 10,000 Fists, it's spelt with a capital I, in case anyone's ever actually searching for me. But Forza Horizon 4, although I played it for about an hour, so I may already be ahead of Chocolate Bear.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Are you out of the
Tutorial.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I'm already
yeah,
like
then you're
searching
way
around.
ahead.
I'm already searching around the map like for different races and stuff like that.
Oh,
Well, hang
cool.
on, are you out of winter?
Yes, he's out of the intro. Yes.
Yeah, I'm long beyond that. Like, how are you taking hours to do that?
Oh,
That was done in
Chocolate's like,
minutes.
Chocolate's like, okay, you're out of the intro. How did you do it?
No, there's 2 intros though. Let's be fair. So there's the 5 minute or half an hour first part where it gives you all the seasons very quick, and then the map opens up. So it gives you the summer. It gives you the summer, or it gives you the autumn. Then
Autumn.
To be fair for Chocolate, it is one of the longest tutorials ever in a game ever. I mean, like quote unquote tutorials, yeah. I mean,
and I'm not a big lover of racing games anyway. But anyway, sorry, you carry on.
So yeah, I think I'm maybe at roughly around about the same point as you. I finished Autumn. I'm sure that's one of the last things I heard it saying before I.
Oh
I
yeah,
finished
then
the
you
stream.
probably are around the same time.
So yeah, I should be ahead of Chocolate Bear by the end of the day.
And what do you think of it?
I do like it. I've never really been big on Forza as a franchise that much. I don't get me wrong, I love my racing games. I've always been more of a Need for Speed or Formula One person. It was always usually one of those two racing games I would play in the past. Not so much the more recent Need for Speeds. Like a lot of the older ones were the ones that I used to prefer. Like
Dude, Need for Speed Most Wanted is the best racing game ever.
Most Wanted was really good.
I do have a lot of
Underground
memories
2.
The cop chases in it were
hilarious,
amazing, and they were difficult. Like,
Yeah.
and then
Undercover,
they just
I
haven't
really liked
replicated
as
it.
well. I did really, really like Need for Speed Undercover.
yeah,
Sometimes,
Undercover was good. Yeah,
the soundtracks for those games were really, really good. I used to love just driving around all of a sudden, like the Prodigy or something like that would just suddenly like just start blaring out through the TV, and I was like, man, this is what I want to be like listening to if I was ever in a street race.
dude. So you know what's crazy is I looked up the price of Need for Speed Most Wanted. I think it was a 360 game, and if you wanted to buy it like at a GameStop, it's like $30, even though it's like 15 years old. It's crazy.
Sometimes it's just a matter of rarity. If a game is
Yeah,
really, really
yeah,
hard
it
to
totally
find,
is.
then
Yeah.
it's going to be more expensive. So, but yeah, more recent Need for Speed games, like when they rebranded it a few years ago, and then there was like that other one that came out like last year. It's on EA Access now. I can't. It's got some other. Is it Payback? Is that one? I think is that the right
Yep.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need for Speed
Yeah,
Payback,
those ones I gave them a try, and I wasn't quite as impressed with those ones as I was with older Need for Speed games. So, but Forza Horizon 4, I thought like it looks really, really good. The cars that I got to drive do handle really well. The one thing that like I wasn't that impressed with was some of the AI cars that are like driving around. They just like you'll be in a race and like all of a sudden a random like pedestrian car will just happen to be on the apex as you're just about to take the lead of a race, and just the constant having to rewind just to get something right. It does annoy me a little bit.
It goes back a way bit as well, the rewind. I didn't think it. I thought, what was the game? Prince of Persia used to be able to hold and just rewind just to the second that you wanted, but it seems like it rewinds 10-15 seconds back.
Yeah, it's like there's like certain checkpoints that it reaches as you're rewinding back, and plus one other thing that I had was like every time I saw like Dan's bot car driving around, I couldn't help but swerve into him. Like just every time I would just like it would just be like I wouldn't first place in a race. Like, oh look, there's a Chocolate Bear. Swerve, like just suddenly T-bone into him, like just I didn't mean to do that.
Just see
What
like that
car is he
10,000.
driving?
I don't know. It was expensive. Some sort of Mercedes.
Posh Bear.
It was a Mercedes of some sort.
So I'm definitely not firing up that car because your bot is going to destroy me every time I come across it.
You see like 10,000 like finishing a race. He's number one. He's gonna win the championship, and he sees like Chocolate just like drive by, and he just like hits the brakes, turns around, just goes after him, just like
Full handbrake turn.
It's
Yeah.
like
Nope.
if you see my car driving about in Forza and it's dented in any way, shape or form, then I've clearly come across Chocolate Bear at some point recently. But yeah, other than Forza Horizon, the only other game that I've played recently, like Ladonian was saying before, was Sea of Thieves when I was playing with him and Doc and Doc's friend that may or may not join us. Hopefully may join us. And
Push that plug. And how are you finding Sea of Thieves? Because this is your first,
this
not
is
your first time, but
this is my second time ever playing Sea of Thieves. I do really enjoy it. One little thing that does really annoy me about the game at times is that sometimes if you haven't got a direct line of sight on the people that you're playing with, you can't see where they are. Like their names don't appear like through like scenery or anything. So sometimes
stuff,
like sometimes you'll need to spend a bit of time actually searching. If they're on different parts of an island, you'll sometimes need to search around a little bit to actually find them.
Especially at night as well.
It can be a right pain trying to find your teammates at times.
And it's a pain if you think that someone is on the island, like another team is, because I'd be like, wait, who just blasted off on the island? Because it doesn't show me their names.
Right.
So I was about to shoot them. Although I don't think there's...
Friendly fire now.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have mattered. But
No,
They did update a lot of that to make it harder. Believe it or not, they actually purposely made some of it that way, because used to you could see enemy names underwater and all this other stuff, and now it's like unless they get out of, if they're underwater, you actually won't see their names unless you go underwater yourself.
Yes, I remember the patch, yeah.
Yeah, so they've done a lot of stuff like that to where they've actually made it harder, easier to conceal your name and stuff like that. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could understand why they would do that for
Enemies,
enemy pirates, but to do that with your current teammates, I think doesn't make sense. Like there was when we were looting that skull fort, and I had no idea where all the treasure was. I must have spent about 5 minutes wandering around the island before I'd actually found out that they were right up at near the top of the island, like to where all the treasure was. I was like, man, it would have just helped to be able to just look up and see where their names are.
Yeah, to be fair, that was one of the worst skull forts you could do in the game. That one is like on a mesh network of cliffs on like a little bitty towering like island hillside, and it's just like a really not a good one to orientate yourself around and find stuff on. That specific skull fort, it was kind of a bad example, but yeah.
also, it didn't help that me and 10,000 had no idea what to do or where to go, really. So
yeah, a lot of people do forget that there is a learning curve in that game. It does not, there is no tutorial. It doesn't hold your hand in any way. It is all, I mean, you really do get the idea. They set it up to join other players and be guided by more experienced players. But yeah, there is a learning curve for sure in that game. Yeah.
It's either
I normally just run and restock the ship. That's the easiest thing.
Yeah.
It's either get good or get dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than not being able to see where your teammates are at times, it is a good game. It definitely is something that I'd enjoy playing a bit more regularly. The one thing I absolutely refused to do about that game, though, which Doc was constantly trying to encourage, was saying port and starboard instead of left and right. It's
no thank you. No,
they were just like not doing it.
No, absolutely. I know left and right. I've known left and right since I was a kid. I'm sticking with left and right.
Yeah. Funny enough, I've never had that from Doc, so I've been quite lucky.
I think my problem is I've been playing with more and more randos or a different or like Puma and that group, and they always use those terms. So I think that's kind of been instilled in me now. But
next
I can
time
go
we
either
play
way,
with
though,
Doc, he'll end up like doing the whole pirate voice thing, like "Arr, we hearties."
I've definitely had some play sessions like that, and other than your voice feeling like you're a 10-pack-a-day smoker the next day, it's pretty fun. So, it's that game. You can have some funny stuff like that in it for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun game. I obviously never played it when it first came out. Like, obviously, having only just said I've only just started playing it recently, so I'm not aware of, which is probably a good thing that I'm not aware of like all the problems that it had when it first came out, or the lack of content, I should more say. Like, I guess that sort of level of ignorance is definitely a bit of a bonus to me, because I'm not aware of what I've missed or not missed out on, I guess.
It's a different game.
Yeah.
Completely different game from when I first started, and Doc was in the beta, so he's seen the evolution of the game from nothing really, haven't you, Doc?
Oh yeah, like when trying to think so I got in the alpha for that a year before it released, December of 2016, I guess. And all that game had at that point was there were no vendors to get quests. You just started a match and you just randomly had quests in your log. The cannons couldn't be loaded; they just come preloaded with cannonballs, infinite. Yeah, it was just like bare bones, like, you know. But then, like, I would say the biggest thing right now is why it's such a good reason, or the game's in such a good place now, is like, so when you guys were in the game, you guys saw Megs randomly, skeleton ships randomly, all this stuff randomly. Like, that all is additions, stuff they've added over time, and it just makes, even when they first added them, it didn't really work well because the pacing of the game was never really better. But with this last update called Shrouded Spoils, the pacing of the game is just what's been so much improved, where you'll be selling around doing random stuff, random quests, and, you know, stuff will pop up, or, you know, Meg will come up, or a pirate ship, or a pirate ship raid, or whatever. Like, Skull Forts used to pop every 4 hours, now they pop every 20 or 30 minutes. Like, the pacing of the game is just what's been fixed and so much better now, in my opinion. And which is why I'm really excited to see what they add next year. I really am, because they're on track to do 6 big content updates for the year, and I can't wait to see what they are. So it's in a really good place, though, for sure.
Definitely one of the developers that listen to their community a lot.
Yeah, it is one. It was really true, though, because like they did a big poll on their forums early on, because one of the first updates was their first update schedule was actually going to be pets, a new area which ended up being the Devil's Roar, and then something else. The only one, and because of the poll early on, where people were like, no, we want an enemy NPC faction, we want a new ship, and we want like viable like creatures in the world. And basically, like, because of that poll, they redid their content update for the first year, and basically did like the Meg, the skeleton ships, the brig, and stuff like that. So
been good. It's been good. Doc, what have you been up to this week with games?
Of course, you know, Sea of Thieves with the Thousand and Ladonian, and I feel like I had tried to get into this before and never got past the first mission, but I think I have finally gotten into Warframe, and I actually really like it.
Yes.
It's pretty cool. It is a different take, I guess you could say, on the whole Destiny looter shooter. But something about it just I don't know, maybe because it is free to play, maybe I give it more of a chance, or a little less critique, I guess you could say. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I don't know, maybe just any sci-fi looter shooter is my kind of thing, and I'm kind of been burnt out on Destiny for a while, and this is maybe just the perfect thing for me. But yeah, it's I downloaded the game, got through a lot of the first quest line. The only thing I bought so far is I did buy after I realized I was actually going to get into this, I bought a $20 starter pack thing, and I can clearly see now where they can really get you spending money in this game. Not in a bad way, but you definitely see where it's like, oh yeah, I could easily sink a lot of money into this game for sure.
Am I right in saying there's a couple of levels where you need a 2-player or 2 players to assist you to get through the mission?
I don't know. Now, see, I've only done the first quest line, and there definitely is, like, you can squad up and everything.
I think there is, Chocolate. I think there is missions that you need to, like, join up with, but it's not like there's always people looking to do levels and stuff.
Yeah, I definitely think you might be talking about, like, the defense-type missions, because I definitely saw, like, horde-based stuff that was, like...
Yeah, there's horde-based stuff, and then there's other areas where, like, you'll need more than one people. But, yeah, it's not often.
I will say the thing, too, that it seems like this game does better than Destiny is they constantly have event-specific things popping off left and right. Like not just dailies and weeklies, which they have those, but it's just like, hey, in 1 hour, this is happening on Venus on this level. In 2 hours, this is happening on this level. And, like, this one has resource rewards. This one has credits. This one does this. And it's different game modes.
So it
and,
gives you
like,
plenty of notice and
constantly...
actually tells you what you're going to get.
Yeah, it tells you what you're going to get, plenty of notice. It is constantly popping off, yeah.
And what do you know? You can customize all your gear to whatever color you want without having to use shaders.
Yep. Actually, you know what? I didn't even think about that, but you're totally right. Like, now don't give them too much credit, Ladonium, because they do get you a little bit, because they give you a base color palette, but to unlock a bunch of other colors, you have to you have to buy those. So
For
Right,
me,
but at
though,
least you know what you're buying.
exactly, yeah. Actually, you're right. Yes, because like my biggest problem with Destiny is not that they added microtransactions; it's that they put them in blind loot boxes. I think it's been everybody's problem ever since microtransactions were a thing. It's not that I have no problem buying something I know what I'm paying my money for. My problem is buying for a random chance at something good.
I think, like for a game like Warframe, though, I'm more likely to spend money on a game like Warframe for a microtransaction because of the fact they've given you the pretty much the
Oh, yeah.
entire game for free.
And
know what I
from
mean?
what I can tell,
It's-
that entire game is like the Fortuna update, the big open area update. All that stuff is included in the free-to-play game. Like there is nothing locked out, like level-wise.
Yeah, so it's like
So-
if they've taken all this time to make a game that plays well and is actually it's enjoyable, the least that you could do really is spend a little bit of money on maybe the odd microtransaction here or there because they're doing all of this and you're getting pretty much everything for nothing.
It's 100% the Fortnite approach to where like I don't feel bad giving the developers a kickback, even though Fortnite they sleep on a king-size bed of $100 bills, but. I mean, like
Nothing
even
compared to Chocolate Bear, by the way.
Yeah, well, also, it's platinum and diamonds, please. It's not comfortable, but it's how he likes to sleep. So
Need that hard bed. Need that hard bed.
need that stiff mattress, yeah. But it's one of those things where, like, yeah, I don't feel bad giving a kickback to the devs, at that point because I know, like Ladonian said, A, I know what I'm getting. B, it's just a very upfront about what's included, what's and again what's not is primarily just aside from the how the game works where you have a warframe and there are different warframes. So aside from being able to buy different warframes, which you can get with in-game currency, I should add. Aside from that, everything else is purely cosmetic. It appears like even pets, all that stuff. So yeah, but I'm really enjoying that so far. I really am kicking myself for not giving this more of a chance a while back because I know it's been out for a long time now. But I guess I'm glad I'm getting into it now, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I was talking to Ladonian the other night how he had kind of really gotten into it, and he just there wasn't a large group or we didn't have really anybody in the community playing it at that time, but yeah, I don't know if anybody else is interested in getting in it now either, since I just started as well. But it's solid for sure.
If they've changed it, I mean, I jumped in 6 months ago, and if it's changed for the better, I might have another jump in and see what it's like.
I think it's pretty much the same game it was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I think it's drastically changed over the past 2 years.
I will say that, yeah, because I first played it when it first came out on PS4 several years ago, and it is nothing like that at this point yet. Like as far as the menus and the way things work, but
I wish it was cross-platform because then I would be totally more enticed to play it because then I could play it on my Switch or my computer. But apparently
agree.
they use the PC servers as a beta, so
Yep.
they'll release everything on the PC first, and then once they get it ironed out, then they'll bring it to console, which makes sense. But I'd like to see cross-platform.
it does have me super hopeful that Switch and Xbox will maybe be cross progression at the very least, maybe even if not crossplay. But because it's funny enough you say that, the reason I got into this on Xbox was I started playing it on Switch. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to get into this, I think I'd rather do it on Xbox just because I'm only going to play it on Switch if I'm connected to a Wi-Fi connection. If I'm connected to a Wi-Fi connection, it's because I'm at home. So I just need to play it on Xbox. So, yeah, so I started it up on Xbox then. But I really hope cross-progression eventually happens because I would love for the Switch to begin, like Paladins or any of those other games, basically be a mobile Xbox for me at that point, So
No, that would be good.
I will say this. I will say this too, Ladonian. It does have mouse and keyboard support for Xbox on the Xbox. It's one of the games they added that for, and it actually works really well. I've been playing it with mouse and keyboard so far.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Nice.
But that's it for me though. Just a lot of Warframe actually, randomly.
And how about you, Chocolate? What have you been playing?
Fantastic, thank you, Ladonian. I've just been jumping on Hellblade. That game really does mess with your mind. And yeah, 100%. It is the only game, or the only way to play the game is with your headset on. Yeah, I think I'll get nightmares from it now. I've also jumped onto COD today. I played Blackout. I hid in the grass. I got run over. I left the mode. That was
And that's
tough.
Chocolate's check in on Blackout.
Yeah, I'm just so poor and slow at picking up my guns and moving. I need to be in a squad so they can tell me what to do. I jumped into the multiplayer though, and I'm pretty poor at that too. I found quite pleasantly. So
just pour all around.
basically,
Now let's be clear too. Poor in game, not in actual financial.
I'm not very good at the game yet. I do enjoy that. It is a good game. I need that help.
See, that's why you should come back to PUBG. The slower pace might suit you better.
So I think that's what it is. As I was trying to shoot, I noticed that the gun. I need to change my kind of the sensitivity. The gun would kind of strafe across the screen really quick, and I think I need to just tighten those controls just so I can get a good shot. Which I'll probably still die because I'm playing against 9-year-olds who are hopped up on Coca-Cola and can shoot me from about 1 million miles away.
Talking about like the cursor straight across the screen. I just picture like Chocolate Bear being like MacGruber when he first fires a submachine gun, just like firing it everywhere in the air, just like yelling.
That is it. Kind of. As I saw someone run past, I shot around him, and there was just a silhouette in bullets of his outline, and then he just turned around, laughed, smiled, winked, and shot me, and that was the game.
I bet too, though, with the movement and picking up stuff, though, that could just be just a matter of just putting in more time, though, too. I'm sure that's something that's just second nature if you play enough, probably.
I think it is. I mean, we've spoken about it before, kind of the difference between COG and Battlefield and how they play and the pacing, as well as PUBG. And because I've put so much time into Battlefield, jumping over into COD, it's just that I need to get used to it again, relearn the maps. And also in Blackout mode, I need massive amounts of help. So Risky and Danpod, if you're listening, take me to a win, please. And one of my final games, while waiting for you guys all to wake up, I was playing Dead Cells on the Switch. And I love it. Absolutely love Dead Cells.
Are you finding it to be as maddening as you found, what was the Cup game? Cuphead?
Oh, Cuphead, yeah.
Or are you finding it better than Cuphead?
Cuphead I haven't played. It's, I'm trying to think of what infuriated me at first. Hollow Knight infuriated me at one point doing the farming. But the game escapes me right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember hearing Risky and Doc talk about this game, and I'm like, want to play it because you're like a ninja, and I love ninja games, but like just the Souls aspect of it and the like roguelike makes me not want to get involved, but I probably will.
I would probably say it's less frustrating than Cuphead, because Cuphead is just a bang your head against a brick wall until you beat this boss kind of thing.
Okay.
But I mean, don't get me wrong, it's got aspects of that, but I would say the thing this has going for it, not that Cuphead doesn't, but this being a different type of game, like a roguelike, it just controls so well, though, is the other thing. Like Cuphead does too, but this just, for the type of game it does, it's just unparalleled in how well it controls and how well it feels in the combat and stuff.
Also, when you get one of the I'm trying to think, the abilities. So when you're collecting the Dead Cells, you can upgrade to save some of your money, save some of your health.
Yeah.
So it's not you're not starting from complete scratch noob. You are, I suppose, not more powerful is the wrong word.
Did you max out saving as much money as possible first?
At the moment, what have I done? No, I've gone with health. Because I just jump right in the middle of fighting and just get battered. So I'm all about the health and then the hit points, and then I've just gone on to coins.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where, you're going to die a lot, you're going to restart a lot, but I think because it is so fun to play is what makes up for it, kind of.
Yeah. And on the Switch, it is, pick up and play.
Yeah.
Turn your Switch off. As soon as you turn it back on, you're still there at the same level, which I definitely like. Yeah,
solid for that platform, 100%.
Right. We're almost an hour in and we haven't even hit the news, so let's take it away and do the news. I'll do a risky tune. Do do do. Ba 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 ba. Boop boop.
We're just gonna start having a Kaboski drop for quick hits every time. Just quick hits.
Quick hits.
Quick hits. After every one, quick hits.
Quick hits.
Right.
It's like I didn't even announce the next story. Quick hits. Wait,
Quick
what?
hits.
Let's see.
Take it away, Doc.
First up, Microsoft renews Lost Odyssey trademark. I don't know if any of you guys played that before, but it was a Xbox exclusive back on the 360. It was a Japanese action RPG. Any of you guys, any memories of that? Played it? Big fan of it?
I think I remember the cover art. Wasn't it like a big green alien?
No.
No, that's not Lost.
Negative.
Negative. Yeah, I know which one it is now.
It's
Whoops.
It's think of it as I did not play it either, but think of it as the game. I have played at least the first mission of the game where you start out in this humongous battle, fighting a bunch of guys, a la Borderline almost. What's the games where you fight like hundreds of guys at once? You're like a general or whatever, and you just fight hordes of people in China.
Yeah, I can't think of what
Dynasty
it's called.
Warriors.
That's
Dynasty
it.
Warriors, yeah. It's basically the first mission reminded me a lot of that, but instead much more action RPG focused, I guess. Anyways, looking into the next gen, Microsoft has renewed that trademark. I'm assuming they did that for a reason, but we'll see. And moving on. We had actually talked about this in Discord a little bit, but this actually has me probably way more excited than it should. But next gen Microsoft controller looks to have a USB Type-C based on patents and other filings made by Microsoft.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with the Ladonian. I think every electronic I own should have USB Type-C. Like,
Fruit phone.
yeah. Well, hey, a lot of the Samsungs have that stupid micro USB 2 still. So,
Now, all the new ones have USB-C.
USB-C, yeah.
So when do you think this is going to drop then? Do you
for the
think
new
they-
console, I think they wait for the new console. Yeah.
I'm really just hoping the overall build quality of the next gen consoles from Microsoft are just better than the Xbox One controllers, because I've found myself in comparison controllers now compared to the 360 controllers, I get for so many more Xbox One controllers than I ever did with the 360.
That's
Really?
your FIFA range.
Oh yeah, no, that's not.
Oh my
FIFA
gosh,
range.
I'm
I
still on
find
my-
just general wear and tear. I find just like my Xbox
I'm
One
on my-
controllers do break a lot easier than 360 controllers.
I guess I'm gentle on controllers because I still have my original controllers from my N64 when I was a kid.
Oh, damn.
And yeah, I don't know. I've never broken any controller.
I'm kind of in Ladonian's camp on that. Yeah, I've not had any bad luck so far. But
Like, I still have my original Xbox One controller, and then I have a secondary one if the batteries run out. And but yeah, I'm just hoping that I'm thinking about getting an Elite controller, but I kind of want to hold off because I don't know that if the controllers will work with the next gen consoles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that I feel like, even though they're really good about, Microsoft is at the forefront of making sure everything is compatible game-wise, backwards, forwards. I will say the one thing that I'm not betting on is controllers, just because they make so much money off controllers.
Oh
new
yeah,
gen.
and they'll launch a new Xbox Elite
Yeah.
controller. So
yeah.
Which you can customize. Finally.
hopefully.
I think that this is a no-brainer and a surefire thing as far as the USB Type-C, though, because the reason this article came up specifically was obviously the patent and everything and the filings and all that stuff. But Microsoft has made no qualms about the fact that the thing that they get sent to Microsoft stores the most to be repaired is the micro USB part of the controller for the current Xbox controllers. It is the 100% most failed part of that controller. So I think they're looking to just avoid, it probably costs more to do USB Type-C, but they're also looking to be like, well, why do a cheaper port if we're just having to repair it all the time anyways? So I think that's why this is probably a no-brainer and probably definitely happening, I would say.
To be fair, they've always been a little bit behind in installing the most up-to-date sort of technology into their stuff anyway, aren't they? Because they were a bit behind with installing Blu-ray into their consoles when
Well,
obviously
that
PlayStation had
and-
done that sooner.
The first controllers weren't Bluetooth compatible, so yeah, they had. There's definitely some missteps they've had as far as like it's like, well, what were you thinking? You probably should have done that from the get-go, but yeah, I would be surprised if the next controller. See, the ones out now are already Bluetooth compatible now, all the new ones. So I would say the next controller is definitely Bluetooth, definitely USB Type-C, and I would be pretty happy with both of those if it did that. Moving on. I don't know if any of you guys saw this in the news. This snuck up on me because I didn't know this existed until after it went away. But Soulja Boy removes console from stores following Nintendo lawsuits.
I did see this.
And apparently he made 3 different consoles, like a handheld, and then 2 more, I guess you could say, traditional ones. The reason he had to remove them is because they were just using illegal emulators. Nothing more. They're basically like
Yeah.
a Raspberry Pi with an illegal emulator.
Yeah. I was just looking this up because I saw the story, and he made one that's like exactly the same thing as a Game Boy.
And I know if you look at it, it's like they didn't even try.
It looks directly like it's a Game Boy. Like,
Like, what was he thinking?
I mean,
just
he was
branded
probably
with,
just
like-
high and like, yeah, that sounds good.
Well, I don't know how much the legal fees are going to cost, but apparently, and I could not verify this, but there were 2 articles. One was The Verge saying that it sold over 5 million units, though, in 1 month. I
Wow.
couldn't confirm that anywhere, though. I don't know if that's true, but who knows? But then again, like, I wonder what the legal fees are going to cost for this
Yeah.
Nintendo lawsuit because
And
Nintendo.
then
Yeah, go ahead.
the other console was apparently one that had previously come out, but just never like. It was like that. I think it was called Phase or something. It was a combination
was,
of like
Phase.
the Xbox and PlayStation 4 essentially. But yeah, it was just another one that had emulators on it. So like, there's no way you're gonna get that through.
Yeah, Nintendo saw that, was like, nah, man, cut that shit out. Nah.
Yep.
We ain't allowing that.
Yeah, I've just seen the pictures of it. Ridiculous.
Oh, it's so funny.
I didn't see you guys had it in the news here, but have you guys seen any of the news for the Mad Box?
Yeah, saw that too. Did you see the their FAQ section on their website? 'Cause
No, I did not.
It's pretty good. It will be the most powerful console when it comes out. And basically, it will be. They don't give specs. They just say that it's mad at how good the specs are.
Yeah, like they showed a render of what it will look like. It looks like it's just a PC case.
It is. I mean, I think all they're
Like-
doing is making a Steam box.
Yeah, they're just making
runs-
a PC.
They're just
Like,
making a PC. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks awful, doesn't it?
It's like
I mean-
hey, it's a game console, but look, it runs Windows. Weird, right?
Yeah, like if they're trying to get everyone into PC gaming, cool, but don't say it's going to be the most powerful console.
Yeah, you're making a PC, bro. It's like
Yeah.
you just made a PC. Like,
Yep. Yeah. But anyway, quick hits.
yeah. So consoles launching left and right. Everybody get ready. Like you don't even have to wait till 2020 for PS5 and Xbox, the next Xbox. They're already here. They're just getting taken
In
down
one.
because they're being sued. And also just because they're emulators. Anyways, quick hits. Moving on. The Coalition, who is behind the Gears of War franchise, is currently working on an unannounced new Xbox One exclusive. This does not include the Gears Tactics, Gears 5, or Gears Funko Pop game. Which, yeah, reminder, there's a Gears Funko Pop mobile game coming out. Get ready. Yeah, so what do you guys think about this? That studio getting charged with a new IP? It seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it really seems like Xbox is really gearing up for next gen. I mean, I think there's no way around that at this point.
I think they're going to be throwing in a load of first-party titles and
Seems like it.
trying to
Seems
get rid
like
of that
it.
stigma of Xbox has no games.
Yeah, I mean that's the exclusive games that Xbox has had on like in the last few years. The hype is always there. There's no doubt that the hype leading up to the games is always there, but then the games themselves always seem to not quite deliver.
Or not blowed out of the water, yeah.
So
to
it's
that
like,
point.
that's something I've always had a problem with is games that get announced too soon, never ever live up to the hype because they're announced way too far in advance and they never can live up to the hype. And it's even worse when it's an exclusive console exclusive game. Like,
Crackdown.
oh yeah,
Ooh.
I'm sort of really dubious about how good or bad that game may actually be. But I'll
Excuse
still
you,
try
it's
it.
Terry Crews Simulator 2019.
I'm on the same boat. I'm very skeptical about that game. But what cracks me up about PlayStation is they have all these exclusive games, and like that is the reason people say they choose that console, right? But I would say half the people who own them don't actually play those exclusive games. They play the games they can play everywhere. For
Yeah, the
example,
multiplats.
Doc has not played Spider-Man,
It's true. I haven't.
and that is like one of the best games.
Yeah.
And like I know some of my friends have not played God of War and stuff, and it's just like, all right, well, you could have whatever console you want if you're not going to play exclusives.
Yeah.
I
mean,
think sometimes PlayStation is a nostalgia thing, and people
Well-
stick with that brand because that's what they played when they were growing up. I mean, that's why I made the jump to Xbox, because they were stalling. I think it was the PS3 just got delayed, and the 360 came out. So I went and bought the new console, the 360, at the time, and that
Yeah.
was it.
and that's the thing. I mean, like, people should never underestimate. Like, everybody's like, well, if the new Xbox does well, it's going to lead in sales like the 360. Thing is, PlayStation has such a hardcore install base across the world that Xbox usually only dominates US and UK, and PlayStation just has such a hard. And I don't know if it's nostalgia that they were around for so long or what it was, but they just have such a hardcore following around the world that it's going to be hard to ever pass them. And like, you look at like PS3 and 360. I don't think a lot of people would argue that the 360 in terms of features, and even you could even argue the case for games at that point as far as exclusives, was the better console of that gen. But PS3 ended up outselling it, even though it came out as a, people forget, PS3 came out as a $600 console. And, you know, and then that was Sony at the time being like, hey, get a second job, not our problem, kind of thing. But like, PS3 ended up still outselling 360 that gen, even though the 360, I don't think a lot of people would argue, was a better console. And it's just because Sony just has a crazy good install base around the world outside of US and UK. But, you know, I mean,
So you mean Asia?
well, Asia, South
There's
America,
just more
I would
people
say.
in that side of the part of the world.
Well, that and Europe in general, mainland Europe. I mean, Sony dominates mainland Europe, like France, Germany, all those places.
Interesting.
But with that all said, though, I've again, not to make this like a console war type thing, but I've always sided with Xbox just because I just feel like they always lead the way in terms of features and pushing the envelope in terms of technology. Because,
Eventually.
you know, with Xbox, we didn't have online gaming until Xbox started. We didn't have party chat until Xbox started. We didn't have achievements or trophies until Xbox came up with that. We didn't have Game Pass until they did that. You know, there's all these things to where, like, they are constantly pushing the envelope in terms of, like, adding new features. And, like, nothing against Sony. It's smart what they do, but they basically half the time just kind of match what Xbox is doing, and which is fine, you know, but I just respect Microsoft kind of, even when they had different leadership, still pushing the envelope on stuff. But yeah.
We love
Nice.
Xbox. Quick hits.
Anyways, quick hits. Oh yeah, this speaking of the UK, I would argue this probably extends to everywhere as well. But research article says 80% of games sold in the UK are sold digitally.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, that's
Way
I was
to
about to
go,
say,
UK.
does that sound about right with you guys? Because my entire library is digital on the Xbox One. So
Well, I think-
I still have one game on disc. Just the one. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And that's only for playing zombies mode with Lion Prime. Like when he
Yeah.
can be bothered to go back on it. Like, yeah. But that's it. That's the ever since like the digital age of games. It's pretty much just it's more convenient. The sales like they're generally they come up fast and often enough, and you generally don't have to wait too long for a recent-ish release to go down in
Yeah.
price on the digital store. So I think it's
Yeah.
definitely encouraging more and more people
yeah,
to go digital, and then the main cost is more likely going to be what external hard drive do you end up buying
Right.
rather than anything else.
yeah, that's the limiting factor at that point. Then yeah.
Well, I was
Yeah.
going to say the I think it was a year after the Xbox One released. I'm sure, like the two, I use the term loosely, biggest game selling shops in the UK went into administration. So we used to have a place called or still do have Game, and a place called Game Station.
Game
one
Station
of
was
them-
bought out by Game. If I
Yeah,
remember
but
rightly.
if you remember rightly, through that they went through Game went through administration and then somehow went through administration, purchased Game Station, bundled together, and then they got rid of, I think, the name Game Station,
Yeah.
and then that's how they've come back a little bit stronger. So it just shows that how we're consuming our content now is digitally.
Well, it's funny you bring up like the game stores because GameStop is on its way out over here, like big time. Like they're trying to divest into different things. Like if you walk into GameStop now, it's nothing but just like trinkets and stuff. I mean, it is like
Same as Game here.
Funko
Yeah.
Pop Central.
I mean, might as well be. Yeah, I mean, it is. You can still go there to. I would argue that the good thing about having GameStop now is that you can go get really cheap used 360 games that become backwards compatible. But other than that, yeah, they're definitely on their way out though, because you see them opening up like Mac resale items and all this. They're divesting into cell phones and all this stuff. That they're clearly being like, yeah, we can't sustain this as a game store anymore.
Well, what I don't get is when digital started going, when everyone started going digital, people still didn't. They still liked going into GameStop to get like the rewards points and stuff. They should have been selling digital codes there, but they didn't. They wanted to sell hard copies.
Yeah,
And recently they've been starting to sell digital codes and stuff, but like
I'd say the
When I-
commission's a lot less on the digital code than it is on physical copies.
yeah, but I mean, I just think that they jumped on the bandwagon a little bit too late, and like their only sales now, like they had when the Switch was coming out, they were getting like they had a great month or 2 months in a row when the Switch was coming out last year, but after that they just tanked again. So yeah, not surprising. Also, Amazon.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that
Well, or you could argue any department store, Walmart, Target, anything at this point too. Like, how are they really all that different from going in and getting a game versus GameStop now? You know?
Yep, they have everything.
the only downside for us as the consumers, if they do go down, that's one less place we can buy our content, which may drive prices up long term. So when the new console comes out, they might be able to say, well, you've got one less place to shop.
No, well, that's not an
console
issue
is-
for you. You can afford to buy consoles for all of us anyway.
Well, and two, I would argue we're too far gone in a phase of companies look at sales the first week and then they basically want to keep the momentum going of sales, and then they just end up, whether digital or whatever, they just drop the price so quick now. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rarely do you see a game come out $60 and stay $60 for 3 months after the fact.
Just bring back midnight releases. I used to love them.
You know what? Funny you say that. I do too. Actually, the one thing I miss about a GameStop or a store like that is I still remember being in college and me and my buddy just sitting in the hallway of a mall outside of a GameStop waiting for Call of Duty or Skyrim or something to release.
Sitting, chatting. Yeah.
There was a game that actually came out quite recently that had a midnight release over here in the UK, though.
Not down my neck of the woods in the country.
Definitely, I saw them tweet it out.
Yeah,
It
a few
was
of them
for,
still do it.
It was for Fallout 76. So,
Oddly enough. Well, well, you know.
Yeah. How many returns the next day? Anyway, let's move on. Quick hits.
All right, last story here. I don't know if you guys were a big fan of Alien Isolation or that type of horror game, but the official Alien Twitter has seemingly teased a Alien sequel is on the way. It'll still star Amanda Ripley from Alien Isolation, who is Ripley's daughter from the canonical Alien movies. They haven't said anything else or teased if it's going to be another Alien Isolation type game, to where it's it's that you're sneaking around, you have no real weapon to kill, you can't kill the alien, you're just trying to sneak around, and it's a suspense type horror. They haven't said what it'll be, but would you guys be interested in another one of those games, or would you be interested in them maybe taking it in a new direction?
I was never even interested in Alien Isolation, in all honesty.
Yeah.
I know that it got a lot of good reviews and a lot of people really enjoyed it, which is fair enough. Like, if it's because it was about time that they released an Alien game that everyone was
good one.
like really enjoying. Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, it was a good fit for the throwback to the first Alien movie, which was a suspense horror thriller. Like, that game type fit that type of mood and vibe, in my opinion. But yeah, it's not my type of game nonetheless, though. Yeah.
Yeah, not for me. But that sounds like it's screaming out for a Horde-esque type mode.
Well, I mean, they've definitely made plenty of. They've definitely made. Last one came out was Alien Colonial Marines, which did not do well at all.
There was Alien versus
and
Predator as well, wasn't there?
There was, which I actually kind of have fond memories
It
of
was
that
okay
on the 360.
for a while.
It wasn't great, but it was I don't know. It was fine, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think they've ever come close to how good the PC versions of the Alien vs Predator was back in the day, but I really want them to make a good version of that in a video game form, though. So, I don't know. Maybe they'll just have to introduce Battle Royale, and then it'll make it.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. 100 Marines drop into a map. There's an alien queen somewhere. You get infested. It actually just turns into a infected mode where everybody eventually...
The circle.
That's the mode.
All
There
of the
it is.
aliens are like on the outside of the circle, and like as the circle gets closer, all the aliens are like closing in from the outside of the map, making
snapping
their
at
way
you
in
with their...
towards. Actually,
Yeah.
intellectual property. If you use that, whoever's listening that makes games, if you use that idea, remember me, 10,000 fists.
You owe me 50% of everything you make. Yeah, I don't know what it would take to make a good Alien game. I don't know if it's just another Alien Isolation, which that did well critically, and I think it did okay sales-wise, but it's still not what I would want to play. But yeah, so, we'll see. Again, obviously they haven't said anything else. Who knows? It could be something totally different, but nothing as of right now. But that's it for the news this week, though.
All right, thank you, Doc. I'll take this next piece because it's dead easy. New games for the week. Nothing noteworthy.
Well said.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. And then we're going to throw it over to Ledonian with a PSA.
All right, perfect. So, games coming to Game Pass for January. We got Life is Strange, Life is Strange Before the Storm prequel, and Life is Strange 2 Part 1. Although later confirmed entire season will be coming to Game Pass. So, looks like you can get all the Life is Strange games for all your teenage dramas.
Gotta love a drama.
Yep. And then Ark Survival Evolved came, which I know that game was super popular a few years ago, but I don't know that we will get a community play of that. I don't know. Seems like a lot of work.
Seemed like it never ran really well either.
Yeah.
So.
Farming Simulator 17. If you guys want to get your redneck on, pretend you're in the cornfields of Iowa.
Do you know, I've been watching a few streams of Farming Simulator, and I still just don't understand
Yeah, dude. It's
why
like,
people
hey, get
gravitate
home from
to that
work
game.
and go work some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make. I'm still shocked at how well those games do financially. Also, like, I don't know.
I don't know either. Absolver is also a game, apparently. Not sure what that is.
Shout out to this game real quick. I do recommend this. This is think of a game that looks like Ashen. They don't have faces. It almost has the exact same art style as Ashen, but it's
Okay.
martial arts, and it's actually really cool.
Oh, so it's kind of like that one
Think of like the
robot
Matrix.
fighting movie that came out with Hugh Jackman a few years ago.
Maybe.
Where they,
I remember the film. I'm trying to remember the name.
what was it called? Where he's like at the training robot, doesn't have a face. It's battling other robots.
Return of the
I'll
King.
have to Google this now.
Yeah, it was not a good movie, but the fighting scenes were decent.
Yeah.
It's Hugh Jackman, so you gotta love it.
True.
All right, Just Cause 3 is also out, which that game looks fun as all heck. and then After Charge, which I'm not positive what that is. Anyone,
sure about
anyone
that
know what
either,
that
yeah.
is?
No.
Nope.
No.
All right,
the
your
film
homework
was
for the week, guys. Figure
Real
out what
Steel.
After Charge is.
Real Steel. That's what that film was called.
Real
Real
Steel.
Steel.
There you go. Yeah,
Oh, how dreadful.
not a good movie. Just watch the fighting scenes on YouTube.
Okay, I'll do that. So,
Have an update to my Pokemon roster names. It came up in Discord like what you were naming your Pokemon. I hadn't named them anything unique, but I have started naming them after basically Nicolas Cage characters in some of his best movies.
Oh yes.
So Charmander is Cameron Poe.
Stanley Goodspeed.
Stanley Goodspeed is Squirtle. I got what's his name from Face Off. Yeah, so I basically just started integrating all of his best character names as my Pokemon.
How
and
could
it's
you not
working out
go
pretty
with
good.
Johnny Blaze for Charmander? There's Ghost Rider.
Well, I could change him. I could change him.
Yes.
I could change him.
What is his name in Con Air?
Cameron Poe.
Cameron
yeah.
Poe, yeah.
Oh man, that's good. Good movie.
Oh, such an underrated movie. You guys gotta go back and watch that. It's just so good. So
Oh, I
good.
love that film.
So good.
Love that film. Right, well, that concludes another episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I'm going to plug this show right up. So, for all your Cross Atlantic Gaming needs, go to crossatlanticgaming.com. If you want to keep up with us on a day-to-day basis, jump in at Discord, which is discord.io/crossatlanticgaming. You'll be able to say hello to Doc, myself, Ludonian, and 10,000 Fists, as
Hello.
well as hello, as well as many more community members. Well, I don't want to say this, but I should. If you want to support the show with your hard-earned dollars, head over to patreon.com/CAG podcast. Remember, we're only $6 away for me stabbing my eyeballs out watching anime.
It's actually pronounced Anima. Thank you very much.
Very close to enema.
Yeah.
If
Very.
you'd like to stay up to date with Cross Atlantic Gaming, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at CAG Podcast. And we're doing our monthly mailbag. Is it next month? Next week even?
Yes, I believe it is. I'll double check, but I believe you're right.
Yeah.
Or
We'll
actually,
open-
no. It's 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks.
I'm sorry, 2 weeks.
Sorry, 2 weeks. The channel is open on Discord, so start dropping your questions in on there. Risky will be back next week and take over the hot seat because I have done a dreadful job today. We're going to go. Take care. See you later. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Would you fight for me? Love is no more for me.
All right, so I actually looked up some dad jokes because I'm gonna be a dad here in 3 months, so gotta
You gotta
practice.
get the
them.
practice. Get
Yep.
these dad jokes in.
All right, did you guys hear about the restaurant on the moon? Great food, no atmosphere.
Oh.
Actually, I quite like that one. That's good.
Yeah, that's a good one. What do you call a fake noodle?
A poodle?
Impasta.
Oh my God, that's pretty good.
How many apples grow on a tree?
How many?
This is
All
gonna
of
be
them.
terrible.
Wait. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's just bad. That's just bad. That's not a dead joke. That's just bad.
Want to hear a joke about paper?
No.
No.
Never mind, it's terrible.